Terry Turchi was Deputy Assistant Director of the Counterterrorism Division of the FBI, and he joins us tonight. Terry, we originally asked you to come on tonight to talk about border security, but before we do, I want to ask you your response to this back and forth between BuzzFeed and the Special Counsel's Office. What's your take?
Sure, Tucker. Well, I'm a skeptic because of being in law enforcement, but I think it's kind of pretty simple. When you take the election and you take the House and you now convert all the committees that you have to investigating various aspects of the President of the United States, then your lifeblood has to be to react to stories. So you're going to see more stories planted so that all these committees can have a lot of work to do. And I think this is just more of the same. And I think we can expect more of this because, quite honestly, the electorate in some places is putting more and more progressives and self-described socialists in positions. And ironically, years ago when I first got into the FBI, one of the missions of the FBI in its counterintelligence efforts was to try and keep these people out of government. Why? Because we would end up with massive dysfunction and massive disinformation and massive misinformation. And it seems to me that's where we're at today. I'm glad I don't live in D.C. I don't know how you start to separate this and make head or tails from it, but it's a mess.
I mean, look, if you believe in socialism, if you've got some program you want to impose on the country, tell us what it is, explain us how you think it works, make the case for it. But these people are so stupid and so emotional, so overwrought, that they think that the key to running the country is an endless series of gotcha stories, criminalizing political disagreement. I mean, it's the least straightforward way to run a government, I would say. So let me just ask you about the original topic that we want to talk to you about tonight, and that's border security. So you heard the new Speaker of the House say the other day that she, in place of a physical wall, would like some sort of high-tech, non-physical, sort of quasi-magical wall, a digital wall on the border, and that would be more effective somehow than an actual wall. Do you think that's true? And why do you think she's saying that?
Well, first of all, I don't think that's true, but I think it's pretty easy why she's saying that. And in fact, I'll say this. If Donald Trump called Nancy Pelosi tonight and said, look, why don't you give me $5 billion for a technological wall along our border? She'd say, now, you know, we could probably start talking about that. And the reason is simple. The Democratic Party is simply owned by the technocrats in Silicon Valley. I worked in Palo Alto. I worked counterintelligence and terrorism there and had all kinds of contacts many years ago with Silicon Valley, and you could see this developing then. The Silicon Valley depends upon cheap labor. They love the B-1 visa program. The Lawrence Livermore National Lab, this is a national entity. They liked the B-1 visa program, and they were making no bones about it in meetings we had. They would say, look, we can get people cheaper than having to bring in young American kids who we just don't think are as good of scientists. Well, that's baloney, I think. But they own the Democrats, and the Democrats in turn have to do things for them. I mean, take a look at just every symptom and every indicator, whether it's Elon Musk and the fact that he's a billionaire because of all of his government contracts and all of his ideas, the government funds, or Solyndra, or the fact that President Obama and Hillary Clinton and Dianne Feinstein and all of these people, they have a solid march out to Silicon Valley's dinners and thousand-a-plate lunches and all of these other things. They have to deliver in return. The Silicon Valley for the Democrats is the new union. People scratch their head and wonder, what have the Democrats done? Why did they abandon some of the Midwestern states and the people they used to represent? Well, because they have no money anymore. The Silicon Valley has the money, and quite honestly now they're pumping this ideology into some of the people that they're helping get elected. It's very, very dangerous because the Silicon Valley, totally other topic, is completely wrapped around the axle of intelligence services, from the Chinese to the Russians, even to our friends, some of the friendly nations. The French said it best one time, a number of years ago. They said, look, sure, we're friends of the United States, but we have our own interest, and we will rely on dealing with our interest and make sure that we take care of those before our friendship. And that's pretty much how all of these places look at it.
I think I've never heard anybody say what you just said. Pushing a digital solution to everything is, in effect, a payoff to their campaign contributors. But now that you say it out loud, it's so clearly true that I hope you will keep saying it.
I want to, and remember something. When you put all this technology in, the government loves to buy it. 1 or 2 years later, it all needs to be replaced with the latest, best upgrades. It's a constant billion-dollar enterprise.
We've been scammed for 20 years by big tech, and it's just dawning on us. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, exactly.
Gary Turchi,
yeah, exactly.
You were the cutting edge of that. For sure. You figured that out first. Great to see you. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Tucker.